Dr. M. P. Jayaraman is an assistant professor in mathematics in L.N. Government College, Poneri. He has specialized on geometric function theory. With 14 years of teaching experience, he has handled topics on probability and queuing theory, discrete mathematics, random process, and engineering mathematics. Being a recognized supervisor for guiding PhD and MS students of Anna University, he is the reviewer of the journal Computer Mathematics and Applications. He has also written books on discrete mathematics and has also published papers in 28 international publications, in 4 national publications, and has presented papers in 2 international and in 2 national conferences.
Welcome you all for UGC lecture series in mathematical sciences. The main aim of this session is to find minimum completion time of projects using critical path method. We know very well the first step in critical path method is to list out all the given tasks and obtain the network diagram for the given tasks. Once we obtain the network diagram for the given task, the next idea is to obtain earliest starting time and earliest finishing time, latest starting time and latest finishing time of each and every activity of the projects. After obtaining the earliest time and latest time, the next idea is to find the critical nodes and connect those nodes with starting activity, starting nodes and the ending nodes. So, in critical path methods, first list out the task using a network diagram, then computing earliest and latest time, we have to obtain the critical path. Consider the problem. The activity is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H and I constitute a project. The notation x less than y means the activity x must be completed before y can start its work. With this notation, A less than D, A less than E, B less than F, D less than F, C less than G, C less than H, F less than I, G less than I. Draw a network to represent the sequence of tasks and find the minimum time completion of the project. When the time which is given in days of the completion of each activity is as follows. The activity A normal time is 8, for activity B 10, for activity C it is 8 days, for activity D 10 days, E 16 days, for F it is 17 days, for G it is 18 days, for H it is 14 days, for I 9 days. So, the given problem is there are activities from A to I which constitute a project. Now, a relation between the precedence relation and successive relation between this activity is given. In this activity, for A, successor are D and E. So, A less than D and E. That means, for D and A, the immediate preceding activity is A, otherwise for A the succeeding activities are D and E. Similarly, from these two relation, B and D less than F, B and D less than F. That means, for B and D the successor activity is F. Similarly, from this relation C less than G and C less than H, we have C less than G and H. That means, for the activity C, the successor activities are G and H. Otherwise, for the activity G and H, the immediate predecessor is C. The same way, the last two relation F less than I and G less than I, that means F and G less than I means I is the successor activity of F and G. Otherwise, for I, the predecessor are F and G. So, the relation, successor relation and precedence relation for this activity is given. Based on this precedence relations, our first aim is we have to draw a network. Once we obtain the network, our next aim is to find the minimum time completion of the project with the help of obtaining the critical path methods. So, to obtain the minimum time completion of the project, our first aim is to construct a network for the given relations. For the activity A is less than D and E. A is the producer of the activity D and E. B and D are the producer of F. C is the producer of G and H. F and G are the producer of I. So, first from this it is clear that D and E has a producer, F has a producer, G and H has a producer, I has a producer. So, among all the activities, the activity A, B and C does not have a producer. These are the three activities which does not have a producer. Therefore, it shows that these three activities are starting activities of our network diagram. Since A, B, C does not have producer, these three activities are starting activities. Next, A has a successor, B and D has a successor, C has a successor, F and G has a successor. Therefore, A, B, C, D and F and G has a successor. Therefore, among all these activities, E does not have a successor, H does not have a successor, I does not have a successor. So, these are the three activities which does not have a successor. Therefore, these three activities are our ending activities of our network diagram. So, A, B, C are starting activities, E, H, I are our ending activities. With this idea, let us construct the network for the given problem. We will take the first relation A less than D and E. So, A is the producer of D and E. Here we already noted that A, B, C are starting activities. Therefore, our diagram starts with three simultaneous activities. The first one is A, the second activity is B, the next activity is C. So, A, B, C are starting activities, therefore, this one. Now, we come to the first relation. The successor of A is D and E, therefore, D and E are the successor. So, I name this activity as E and this activity as D. Since it is given that D and E are the successor of A, for A the immediate successor are E and D. So, this relation is over. The next constraint relation is B and D less than F, which means F is the immediate successor of B and D. Now, if we draw this activity as F, F is the immediate successor of B. So, B less than F is over. Next, D also less than F. We already draw D. Instead of this D, if we draw our D as this way, then now see B is the producer of F, D also the producer of F. That means for B and D, F is the immediate successor. Therefore, this relation is also over. Now, from the network, for A, D and E are the immediate successor. So, for A, E is the immediate successor, D is the immediate successor. Next, for F, the immediate producer are B and D. In other words, for B and D, immediate successor is F. So, for B and D, the immediate successor is F. The next precedence relation is C less than G and H. That means, for the activity C, the immediate successor are G and H. Now, for this activity C, the immediate successor are G and H. So, for the activity C, the successor are G and H, we draw G and H. So, this relation is also over. Now, the final precedence relation is for F and G, the immediate successor is I. For F and G, the immediate successor is I. So, if we draw this network, if I take this activity as I, then for F the immediate successor is I. Next, for G also the immediate successor is I. Therefore, if we erase this relation and instead of that one, if we draw our G as this way, now for the activity I, the precedence relations are F and G. Now in this network all the conditions, precedence relations are satisfied, but here the ending activities are E, H and I. Therefore instead of this activity H, if we draw the H's this way, then it will become an ending activity, and instead of E as this activity, if we draw E as this way, then our network schedule is completed. So this is the network diagram for the given relations. So for the given relation, a neat network diagram is here. For the activity 1 to 2, the normal time is 8 days, and for the activity 1 to 3, the normal time is 10 days. For the activity 1 to 4, the duration is 8 days. The same way for the activity 3 to 5, the duration is 17 days, and for the activity 4 to 5, the duration is 18 days, and for the activity 2 to 3, the duration is 10 days, and for the activity 4 to 6, we name that activity as H, it takes 14 days, and for the activity 2 to 6, we name that activity as E, the duration is 16 hours. Now with the help of this network diagram, for the any activity Ij of the project, we have to compute the earliest time ESJ and the latest time LSI. So in order to obtain the critical path, our first aim is for each and every activity Ij project, we have to compute the earliest time ESJ and the latest time LSI. Now first we compute the earliest time for this network diagram. Let us start with the initial node. We know very well, for the initial node the earliest starting time is the starting time of the project. Therefore ES1 is, for the node 1, ES1 is 0. Next we have to compute ES2 for the node 2. So ES2. Now for the node 2, the only incoming activity is from 1 to 2. So the incoming tasks for the node 2 is 1 to 2. Therefore ES2 is ES1 plus the normal time T12. Now ES1 is 0 and the normal time T12 is 8 days. Therefore 0 plus 8, 8. Therefore the earliest time for the node 2 is 8. Next we have to compute ES3. For this node 3, we have to compute the earliest starting time. Now if we consider node 3, there are two incoming tasks are there. One activity is 2 to 3, another activity is 1 to 3. So for the node 3, there are two incoming activities. One is from 2 to 3, another one is from 1 to 3. Therefore now ES3 is maximum of, if we consider the incoming tasks 2 to 3, it will be ES2 plus T23, and if we consider the incoming tasks as 1 to 3, it will be ES1 plus T13. So the maximum among these two is our earliest time for node 3. So now we compute that value, maximum of, then earliest starting time for node 2 already we computed, which is 8. So 8 plus the normal duration for that activity is 10. So 8 plus 10. Then for ES1 the value is 0. Now for the activity 1 to 3, the normal duration is 10. Therefore 0 plus 10. So among these two, maximum is 18. Therefore, for node 3, the earliest starting time is 3. So, after computing ES3, our next aim is to compute the value of ES4. That means, for the node 4, we have to compute the earliest starting time. As far as the node 4 concerned, the only incoming activity is from the node 1 to 4. So, for the node 4, the only incoming activity is from 1 to 4, which takes the normal duration time as 8. Therefore, ES4 is ES1 plus T14. Now, ES1 is 0 plus T14 is 8. So, which is 8. Next, for the node 5, we have to compute the earliest starting time, which is ES5. If we take the node 5, for node 5, there are two incoming activities. One is from node 3 to 5, another one is from node 4 to 5. Therefore, the node 5 concerned, there are two incoming activities. One is from 3, another one is from 4. Therefore, here ES5 is maximum value of ES3 plus T35 and ES4 plus T45. For the node 5, there are two incoming activities. One is from node 3, another one is from node 4. Therefore, ES5 is maximum of these two. Now, ES3 is 18 and T35, the normal duration for the activity 3 to 5 is 17. So, 18 plus 17, and ES4, just now we computed the value is 8 plus T45, the normal duration is 8. So, 8. Among these two, the maximum is 35. Now, for the final node, that is for node 6, we have to compute the earliest starting time, which is ES6. Now, if we consider the node 6, there are three incoming activities. One is from node 2, another one is from node 5, the third one is from node 4. So, as far as the node 6 concerned, one activity is from 2 to 6, another activity is from 5, that is 5 to 6, another activity is from 4, that is 4 to 6. So, for computing E6, we have to take the maximum value of, if we can consider the incoming activity as 2 to 6, then it is E26 plus T26. If we consider the incoming activity as 5 6, then it is E56 plus T56, and if we consider the incoming activity 4 to 6, then it is E46 plus T46. So, for the node 6, there are three incoming activities. One is from node 2 to 6, another one is node 5 to 6, another one is from 4 to 6. Therefore, our E6 is maximum of these three values. For the activity 2 to 6, our ES2 value is 8. Therefore, we take this as 8 plus T26 as 16. And for the activity 5 to 6, this ES5 is nothing but 35. So, 35 plus the normal time is 9. Now, if we consider the incoming activity as 4 6, then ES4 is nothing but 8. So, 8 plus T46 is 14. So, among these two, among these three, the maximum is 44. Now, for each activity ij of our given project, we will compute ESJ value. For the node 1, our ESJ is 0. For node 2, our earliest time value is 8. For node 3, our earliest time is 18. For node 4, our earliest time is 8. For node 5, our earliest time is 35. And for 6th node, the earliest time is 44. So, for the node 1, our earliest time is 0. For node 2, our earliest time is 8. For node 3, the earliest time is 18. For node 4, the earliest time is 8. For node 5, the earliest time is 35. and for node 6 the earliest time is 44. So, in a network diagram, for all nodes we compute the earliest time. Once we obtain the earliest time, the next idea is to obtain latest time for each and every activity of our projects. Let us start with the final node 6. We know very well the latest time for the final node is the total completion time of the project, which is 46. So, for the node 6 our latest time is 44. Next we have to compute the latest time for node 5, which is LS5. Now, for the node 5 the only outgoing activity is 5 to 6. So, for the node 5 the only outgoing activity is 5 to 6. Therefore, for the node 5 the latest time is LS6 minus the normal time, which is 9. Now, LS6 is 44 minus 9, which is 35. Therefore, for the node 5 the latest starting time is 35. Next we have to compute the latest starting time for node 4, LS4. Now, if we consider node 4, the outgoing activities from node 4 is the activity 4 to 5 and the activity 4 to 6. So, for the node 4 the only two outgoing activities are activity 4 to 5 and the activity 4 to 6. Therefore, our LS4 is minimum of LS5 minus the normal time, which is T545, comma. If we consider the activity 4 and 6, the outgoing activity 4 and 6, it is LS6 minus T46. So, the value is minimum of our LS5 is 35. For the activity 4 and 5 the duration is 18 days. Therefore, 35 minus 18. Then for the activity 4 and 6 the LS6 value is 44 minus, and the duration is normal time is 14. Now, the minimum among these two values is 35 minus 18, which is 17. Therefore, for node 4 the latest time is 17. Next we have to compute latest time for node 3, LS3. Now, if we consider node 3, there are only one outgoing activities, namely 3 to 5. So, if we consider node 3, for node 3 the only outgoing activity is from 3 to 5, which takes 17 days. Therefore, LS3 is LS5 minus the normal duration 7. Now, LS5 is 35 minus 17, which is 18. So, the latest time for node 3 is 18. Next we have to compute the latest time for node 2, which is LS2. Now, if we consider node 2, for node 2 the two outgoing activities are from 2 to 6 one activity and 2 to 3 another activity. So, for node 3 there are two outgoing activities, one is 2 to 3, another one is 2 to 6. Therefore, now LS2 value is minimum of, if we consider the activity 2 to 6, it is LS6 minus 16, that corresponding duration, comma. If we consider the activity 2 to 3, it is LS3 minus the normal duration 10. Now, the LS6 value is 44 minus 16 and LS3 value is 18 minus 10. Among these two the minimum is 8. Therefore, the latest time for the node 2 is 8. The next node is the node 1, which is a starting node. For our starting node there are 3 outgoing activities. One is 1 to 2, which assume 8 hours. Another outgoing activity is 1 to 3, which assumes 10 hours. Another activity is 1 to 4, which assume 8 hours. Therefore, as far as node 1 concerned, the outgoing activities are 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. Therefore, our LS1 is minimum value of LS2 minus 8. If we consider this activity, LS2 minus 8. If we consider the activity 1 to 3, it is LS3 minus 10. If we consider this activity, it is LS4 minus 8. So, LS4 minus 8. Now, our LS2 value is 8. So, which is 8 minus 8, and LS3 value is 8, 18 minus 10, and LS4 value is 17, 17 minus 8. Now, among these three values, the minimum is 0. Therefore, for the node 1, the latest starting time is 0. Now, for each and every node, we calculated the latest starting time. So, for node 6, the L value is 44. For node 5, the L value is 35, which is our LS5. For node 4, our latest time is 17, and for the node 3, our LS3 is 18. Therefore, for node 3, our L value is 18, and for node 2, our LS2 value is 8. Therefore, latest time for node 2 is 8, and latest time for our starting node is 0. So, we calculated the earliest time and latest time of each and every activity of our given project. Now, in order to find the critical activity, we should find the critical nodes first. For that, we should form a table with the help of this latest and earliest time of this activity. For this network, we have calculated the earliest time and latest time. So, for the node 1, our earliest time is 0 and latest time is 0. For the node 2, earliest time is 8 and latest time is 8. For node 3, the earliest time is 18 and the latest time is 8. For the node 4, the earliest time is 8, the latest time is 17, and for node 5, the earliest time is 35 and latest time is 35, and for our final node, the earliest time is 44 and the latest time is 44. Now, in order to determine the critical path for this network, with this earliest starting time and latest starting time, we form a table. The table is here. Now, we have 9 activities. These are the activities. For each and every activity, the duration is given. Just now, we compute the starting time for each and every activity. For the activity 1 to starting time is 0. For the node 1, E value 0. Similarly, for the activity 1 to 3, for the starting node, the earliest time is 0. The same way, if we take the activity 3 to 5, for the node 3, earliest starting time is 18. And already we computed the latest finishing time for each and every activity. If we take the activity 1 to 2, for the final for the ending node 2, the latest L value is 8. Similarly, if we take the activity 5 and 6, for the node 6, the latest time is 44. So, using the network, for each and every activity, we calculated the starting time, we calculated the latest finishing time. Now, for each and every activity, we compute the earliest finishing time, which is nothing but the earliest starting time plus duration of the activity. Therefore, for the activity 1 to 2, the finishing time is duration plus starting time. So, 8 plus 0, 8. For the activity 1 to 3, the earliest finishing time is duration plus starting time. So, 10 plus 0, 10. Same way, for each and every activity, we can compute the earliest finishing time, which is sum of duration plus earliest starting time. So, here 16 plus 8, 24. Here it is 35. Here it is 26. Here it is 22, and here it is 44. Next, we can compute latest starting time for each and every activity, which is nothing but latest finishing time minus the durations. Suppose for the activity 1 to 2, the latest start time is, latest finishing time is 8 and duration is 8. So 8 minus 8, 0. Next, for the activity 1 to 3, the finishing time is 18, the duration is 10, therefore 18 minus 10, 8. Next, for the activity 1 to 4, it is 17 minus 8, which is 9. For the activity 2 to 3, it is 18 minus 10, which is 8. For the activity 2 to 6, it is 44 minus 16, which is 28. Next, for the activity 3-5, it is 35 minus 17, which is 18. For the activity 4 to 5, it is 35 minus 18, which is 17. For the next activity, it is 44 minus 14, which is 30. For the final activity, which is 44 minus 9, 35. So, using this table, we can compute the earliest finishing time and latest starting time for each and every activity. Now, in order to determine the critical node, either we have to check the starting time of earliest starting time and latest starting time. To find the critical activity, we should look into the starting time of earliest and latest. For the first activity, both values are same 0. Therefore, we have to choose the activity 1, 2, which should lie in the critical path. The next earliest starting time and latest starting time coincide is for the activity 2 to 3, which is 8 for the activity 2 to 3. So, next we have to choose 2 to 3. Next earliest starting time and latest starting time coincide is 18 for the activity 3-5, and finally for the activity 5 to 6, both are coincide. Therefore, as far as this table concerned, the critical path activity is 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 and 3 to 5 and 5 to 6. So, our critical path activity is 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5 and 5 to 6, which takes 44 days. 8 plus 10 plus 17 plus 9, so which gives us 44. Therefore, total completion time of this project is 44 days. So, let me recap. In order to obtain the critical path, first we have to list out all the activities and we have to obtain the network diagram for the given activities. Once we obtain the network for each and every activities, we have to compute the earliest time and latest time. Once we obtain those times, next we have to note down the critical activities and connect them with the beginning and the ending node. Questions. A project consists of the following activities and time estimate. For this activity, draw the network, determine the earliest time and latest time, obtain the critical path. Thank you.